On today's episode of The Front Row, we are downtown in the Lubbock Cultural District and the studios of Classical 105.7, and our special guest on the program today is Sally Post, a person that I have known and respected for a very, very long time. Sally, welcome to The Front Row. Thank you for being our guest.
Thank you for having me on.
Well, one of the things I want people to know is some of the things that I've known about you, working with you in the past, and just a little bit about you and about your career. Where did you grow up?
Gosh, in Wichita Falls, small town outside of there called Petrolia.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in terms of education, how did you work your way up through the media and journalism thing?
Came out here to Tech as an undergrad. Went to work for the Avalanche Journal out of school, and kind of knocked around a little bit doing this, that, and the other things. Went back for a master's degree and ended up in television news as a producer and a news director here and in Austin.
Right. And you worked with our owner, Brad Moran, for a while, right?
I did. Yeah. That was fun, just as we were putting Fox News on the air. Jeff Klotzman and I got to have a major role in that, and that was terrific. You never get a chance to create a newsroom, you know?
That's a unique opportunity.
Yes, it was, and it was fun.
I bet it was.
Yeah.
With Brad and Jeff and you, it had to be. Of course, right.
Yeah, and Brad was wonderful to work with.
Right, excellent. And then I knew you from Texas Tech. What all did you do at the university?
Well, I worked for the then Communications and Marketing Office. I think that name has changed a bit now. And for a very long time, worked for the Vice President of Research, doing the same thing, and over at the museum as their communications and marketing person before I retired.
All right. And so now you are retired.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. And enjoying life, I bet.
Oh, yeah. It's lovely. I highly recommend it.
Well, that's great. Well, speaking of the museum, you're apparently still involved with them, and you're helping them out with some projects. Tell us about it.
Right. I'm on the board of directors, have been for quite a while. And with Dressing the Abbey coming in, the exhibit about the Downton Abbey clothing, we're doing some events around that, and I'm helping out.
Great. Well, one of the things coming up that sounds really cool is an English-inspired afternoon tea.
Yes.
Which is just going to be perfect for that era and that time. So how did this all come about? How did you dream this up, and how's it going to work?
Well, we were thinking, what kind of matches the British background of the show, and of course tea. What else could you do? And I do so love tea and drink it instead of coffee. Yeah. So I was really excited about it, and it may, if your listeners have been to a real English tea, it's not going to be quite that, but it's going to be very close, as close as we can get anyway. Yeah. Top Tier's doing the catering, and it should be lovely.
Yeah. Well, and this would be something that would be normal in a upper class household in Edwardian times.
Absolutely.
Pre-First World War. So yeah, this would be something that would be right in line with the exhibit.
Yeah, I think so. And the clothing is so beautiful, and you could just see, if you watch the show, the women changed clothes a lot. And there's 35 costumes ranging from the very dressy gowns to the downstairs servants' uniforms, male and female clothing. And it's just fun, and the clothing is beautiful.
Yes. I got a chance to go through not too long ago, and I was so impressed. It's very stylized from that very period pieces, but it's exactly what you described. Beautiful. The costumes were, of course, used in the production of Downton Abbey,
right?
That was on PBS television, and it's really nice to actually see in person, up close, things we saw on TV.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, they're even more beautiful than on the screen.
Yeah.
And you can see the details of the handwork on them and the beautiful materials.
Right. And it's interesting, as you pointed out, to see the strata of the glamorous gowns all the way down to the servants.
Yeah. It is kind of the ultra-rich family to the servants, and some of that kind of middle class from the town.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really nice, and something Lubbock hasn't had before.
Right.
So
Yeah. Well, tell us more about this event. So, an afternoon tea at the museum. Tell us more.
Right, 3 to 5 p.m. on March 31st in the sculpture court. There is a $50 ticket. You can get that by calling the Museum Association. And that phone number is 806-742-2443.
Great.
And the exhibit itself will also be open, so you can visit that if you haven't yet. And Martha Milholland, she is an expert on tea. So she's going to do a very short lecture exploring the history and the customs of afternoon tea. And hopefully our curator of art, Tracy Robertson, will be able to discuss some of the art that you see in the background in the castle. Mm-hmm. And they're both incredibly knowledgeable in their fields, so that should be fun and a little extra education.
Right. Well, it's wonderful what you're saying there. One of the things that BBC does so well in these period dramas is get everything right,
Yeah.
in terms of the style. And I would love to know more about the castle itself and all the decorating and everything that went on with that. That'd be very fascinating.
Yeah, and she'll probably stick specifically to some of the art, the major art pieces you see. But it's a real castle. It's certainly not the name as portrayed. Highclere Castle in Newbury.
Okay, so they use the real deal.
They use the real deal. Yeah. So that certainly lent itself to the authenticity of the show.
Right. Well, I think this is a great exhibit. I think it's a great idea to have the tea go associated with it. It's perfect, and we hope that everybody will come out. Tell us once again time, date, and how to get more information and tickets.
3 to 5 p.m., March 31st, which I know is a Tuesday. So if you're working, you might want to take off a little early that day. Tickets are $50. You may call the Museum Association at 806-742-2443. And that should get you a ticket.
That sounds great. Thank you so much. Our guest on the front row today, Sally Post. And it's such a pleasure to have you on the show, and I hope you'll come back many times.
Certainly. Anytime you'll have us.